If you're watching live GameMax rebranding a couple of, I think it was 2 weeks ago or something like that, you would most likely see this case. Now, this here is GameMax Slime Blade, and it's a prototype, but still, it's really nicely designed and definitely looks appealing without a doubt. Now, the one thing that will definitely look a bit not strange but specific, I would say, you have these 4 straps here that look like straps from a seat belt, but you can actually remove them completely and get full access for the airflow. But it's all up to you to decide. I mean, you have a Velcro tie, and this is simply it. So you just untie it, tie it up. It's all up to you to decide, and that's really good because if you want a full open air case, you remove all of those and you get full ventilated chassis. If you don't, you get this sides, both sides, so the front and the back, fully opened and quite nicely designed. I do have to admit that. Now, the one thing that I do have to state, and I'm going to do it right on front, and then we're going to go into details, is the bottom compartment, which doesn't have much function, I would say. So it does have an opening here on the sides. It does have loads of clearance here, but why not use it, I don't know, for additional exhaust or anything similar to that, which would be much better. For instance, I don't know, you place 3 fans. I think we could place 3 140 fans at the bottom. They create an intake from the bottom, from these side parts, give more air to the GPU, give more air to the AAO power supply, and we're good to go. But regardless of that, the thermals aren't bad. So that's another thing to consider. Now, I know some of you will say, dust magnet, it's an open air. It's an open air chassis. It's normal. It's not going to get more dust than your regular case on top of it, and you just have to dust it off. So it's just normal. And basically that's all there is to it. So when we're talking about GameMax Slime Blades, it's a cool design chassis. You have these 5 panels that light up in RGB, which you can regulate because you have a controller at the back. You have this panel right here, but there's a secret thing, let's put it this way, because when I connected everything, this didn't light up at all. And I removed it, connected again, and then I noticed what they did. Was it an accident? Was it on purpose? I honestly don't know. But what I noticed is that the LEDs were rotated towards the inner part. So you just untie these 2 screws, you untie 3 screws at the back, and you get the access to the LED. Just flip it around and you get LED lighting up here, because the GameMax logo right here doesn't light up whatsoever. So if you want to have this part light up, you can. And it's really cool. I do have to admit that. Now, the controller has 10 PWM ports and 10 addressable RGB 3-pin 5-volt ports, which need to be connected via SATA directly from the power supply, and then you have PWM and addressable RGB header going towards your motherboard, which you can then regulate with the motherboard or motherboard software regarding the addressable RGB. So it's nothing too drastical at all. Talking about specifications, what we have right here is basically a bit of an introduction to the Mod Custom Concept Edition, which kind of gives you an option to do whatever you want with it. You can actually modify it if you want to go to that route, or you can just keep it as it is. And basically, yeah, I mean, the concept with thumb screws and removing the panels is quite easy. You have a couple of screws here at the back holding these panels, and basically, when you're placing the graphic card, motherboard, and the AIO, actually, you have to remove this panel, that's for sure. At the back, you have to remove the panel for the 360 radiator, and you have this cover that hides all the cables at the back. Quite nicely designed, quite easy to put back. I would just give you an advice: if you go with something like this, do just tie up the cable so it's easier to place back panel on. There's only one way to place the GPU, and that is with a vertical position, and it has included PCI 4.0 riser cable. Then we have connectivity on the front I/O panel, which is 2 USB 3.1 Type A, 1 USB Type C Generation 2, and we have 4-pole 3.5mm jack, and of course the power button. Now the cool thing is that you have an interchangeable I/O ports on both sides for flexible setup. So what you can do is you can switch the ports on the other side and have it on there if you want. So that's a cool addition. You have possibility to place two 3.5-inch hard drives or two 2.5-inch SSDs. And basically, this case doesn't support any additional fans apart from the ones that are placed on the AIO. So you can go up to 360 millimeter radiator, but in this scenario, what I encountered when I wanted to place the fans to the inner part, they couldn't be placed. So what you have to do is remove the panel, place either the radiator first and then the fans that will blow inside the chassis, or you could just simply do as I did and place the fans first, then the radiator, and create immediate exhaust. Now I know this scenario might not be perfect in terms of the airflow, which might give you an idea that there is no intake fans, so there isn't much space for intake in general. But when you take a closer look and when you take into consideration that the panel is 3 centimeters thick and moved away from the back part of the chassis, you might still get more ventilation, maybe if you remove these straps or whatever. But I just really wanted to have a clean look at the back without any fans, which does look outstanding on both sides. When we're talking about the GPU mounting mechanism, you just have to place the GPU in the riser cable. There is no lock on the riser cable, so in some sense that's good, in some sense it isn't. But regardless of that, it supports 3-slot GPUs, and that's quite alright. So we have new generation GPUs. The dimensions of the case is 498 times 254 times 466. And when we're talking about the GPU maximum length is 400 millimeters because you have this rim on the side, which kind of limits the front and kind of keeps the whole chassis all together as well. So you have to have it up to 400 millimeters. I mean, I'm having here ASRock RX 9070 XT Tai Chi, and it's a pretty beefy card and a long card, and it still fits, so you're good to go. CPU cooler height maximum is 105 millimeters if you want to keep it in the scope of the chassis. Of course, if you want to have it sticking out, you can go with that as well, but it's all up to you to decide. Power supply length is 230 millimeters, and then we have this outstanding cover that gives you an option to cover up all the cables or excessive power supply or whatever. In general, it's quite interesting to build inside this case, but you do have to take into consideration that there are a couple of steps that need to be done prior of placing the final panels. Quite logical. So what I would suggest is leave this part till the last, because you never know if you have to, I don't know, reconnect PWM 24 pin or whatever. Just go with the power supply, motherboard, then connect literally everything, then go with the AIO, because I think this is quite obvious that the AIO is the best option, best solution for this type of chassis, and then go with the GPU, then close it off. That's the best part and best scenario. Even I would say that going before the GPU, I would close the cables at the back if you have enough length, if you measure the length for the GPU. And in that scenario, you will have a perfect, let's say, order while placing all the components inside. So in this scenario, what I used is the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3360. We have AMD Ryzen 9 9950 X3D with ASRock RX 9070 XT Tai Chi, and it's time for benchmarks, right? AGST 64 Extreme Edition, we have CPU going up to 85 degrees with the clock speed 4915 megahertz, and the GPU quite fascinating, and I guess ASRock really did an outstanding job on this one, 57 degrees. Now, if we go with Cinebench R23, we have 10 runs, but we'll go with the average. So the average of thermals is 77.5, I would say something around that in those 10 runs from 75 to 79. Then we have clock speed rocking around 4895. I would say that's the proper, I would say a bit more, but that's quite alright still. And then when we go with Cinebench scores, from 40,837 to 40,753, somewhere in the middle, I would say for 40,780, 90 Cinebench points, which is solid comparing it to what I did yesterday with benchmarking different thermal pastes and similar stuff, as you noticed. So when I'm looking at the chassis, it looks really appealing, I do have to say. Open air chassis is something that either you love or you don't. It's not a love and hate game. It's just simply if you like to have components really visible. Let's put it this way. The visual aspect, when we're talking about these lines, it's really epic. I do have to admit that. I'm really digging it because if you go, and as you know, I always go with a single color for the RGB lights in general, you can really create something epic. And this chassis really brings out that. I'm just I would just prefer if there was a possibility to place some fans here at the bottom just for some sort of an intake, just so it has additional fans blowing inside the chassis and creating airflow. Because if you have fans at the bottom for this type of case, it can just go like this from the bottom to the top, just giving additional air. That's it. And then the configuration, what I did with the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 at the back, would make even more sense. So yeah, guys, this was GameMax Lion Blade. Quite interesting concept case mod design, which brings quite interesting visual aspect to your table in general. But I'm quite impressed when we were talking about how easy it was to build, because you don't have any additional fans, you don't have any additional cables. It's an open chassis. You know what I said already. I won't repeat that part again. But yeah, thumbs up to GameMax, because this really is a clean looking case. If I find something, I'll leave it in the description, and if I don't, I'll just link you to directly to their website, and that'll be all for today. Hope you like the build, and of course, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell. I'll see you soon in another one. Bye bye.